Hello students, welcome to the computer network lecture. In this lecture, we will see switching techniques. What are the switching techniques? In large network, there can be multiple paths from sender to receiver. The switching technique will decide the best route from data transmission. Switching technique is used to connect the system for making one-to-one communication. Let's see the classification of switching techniques. Switching techniques can broadly classified into three types: circuit switching, message switching, and packet switching. Circuit switching are again having subtypes: space division switches and time division switches. Packet switching is further divided into two types: datagram approach and virtual circuit approach. Virtual circuit approach again having two types: switch virtual circuit and permanent virtual circuits. In this lecture, we will only going to see three basic type of switching, that is circuit switching, message switching and packet switching. Let's start with the first switching technique, circuit switching. Circuit switching is a switching technique that establishes a dedicated path between sender and receiver. In a circuit switching technique, once the connection is established, then the dedicated path will remain to exist until the connection is terminated. Means the connection is remain in existence until the user will going to terminate that connection. Circuit switching in a network operates in a similar way as the telephone works. Means if you want to make a call to the next person, then after dialing a number, when the line is connected, a dedicated path is exist between the two on the telephone, between you and the another side of the telephone, and this line will remain in existence till one of the user will going to turn off the telephone. So it is the example of circuit switching. A complete end-to-end path must exist before the communication takes place. In case of circuit switching technique, when any user wants to send the data like voice, video, a request signal is sent to the receiver, then the receiver sends back the acknowledgement to ensure that availability of the dedicated path. After receiving the acknowledgement, a dedicated path transfers the data. Circuit switching is used in public telephone network. It is used for voice transmission, and fixed data can be transferred at a time in circuit switching technology. So communication through circuit switching has three phases. First is circuit establishment, then data transfer, and last is circuit disconnect. Let's see the diagram of circuit switching. Here in this diagram, we can see A and B. These are the two end users. Whenever user want to start the communication with the user B, at that time, before the communication, a dedicated path is established. So dedicated path is S1, S2, S4 and S6. After a path is established, second is the data transfer. So the data is transferred, likewise message 1, message 2 and message 3. After the successful data transfer, the users will going to terminate the connection. That is, the dedicated path is now dissolved. Let's see what are the advantages of circuit switching. In the case of circuit switching technique, the communication channel is dedicated and it has fixed bandwidth. Disadvantages of circuit switching are: once the dedicated path is established, the only delay occurs in the speed of data transmission. Second is, it takes a long time to establish a connection, approximately 10 seconds, during which no data can be transmitted. Third is, it is more expensive than other switching technique as a dedicated path is required for each connection. Next disadvantage is, it is inefficient to use because once the path is established and no data is transferred, then the capacity of the path is wasted. And last is, in this case, the connection is dedicated, therefore no other data can be transferred even if the channel is free. Second type of switching technique is message switching. Message switching is a switching technique in which a message is transferred as a complete unit and routed through intermediate nodes at which it is stored and forwarded. In this technique, there is no establishment of dedicated path between sender and receiver. The destination address is appended to the message. Message switching technique provides a dynamic routing as the message is routed through the intermediate nodes based on the information available in the message. Message switches are programmed in such a way so that they can provide the most efficient routes. Each and every node store the entire message and then forward it to the next node. So, this type of network is also known as store and forward network. Message switching treats each message as an independent entity. Let's see the diagram of message switching. Here, no dedicated path is established. The message can route in any direction based on the shortest distance because it will going to decide the best route. As you can see, the message 1 will travel through S1, S2, S4 and S6, while the message 2 can travel from S1, S3, S4, S6. So each message can take its own way by deciding its best route. And to each and every node it will going to pass. At that time, the intermediate node will going to store that message and then forward it to the next node. So for message 1, if the sender will going to send the message 1, then S1 will going to store the entire message S1 onto the S1. After then, S1 will going to forward that message to S2. Again, S2 will store it for some time, then forward to S4, then S6 and to the final destination. So it is called as store and forward technique. Let's see what are the advantages of message switching. Data channels are shared among the communicating devices that improve the efficiency of using available bandwidth. Traffic congestion can be reduced because the message is temporarily stored in the nodes. Message priority can be used to manage the network. And last is, the size of the message which is sent over the network can be varied. Therefore, it supports the data of unlimited size. Let's see what are the disadvantages of message switching. The message switch must be equipped with sufficient storage to enable them to store the message until the message is forwarded. So storage or the memory is important. The long delay can occur due to the storing and forwarding facility provided by message switching technique. Third type or the last type of switching technique is packet switching. The packet switching is a switching technique in which the message is sent to one go, but it is divided into smaller pieces and they are sent individually. The message splits into smaller pieces known as packets, and the packets are given a unique number to identify their order at the receiving end. Every packet contains some information in its header, such as source address, destination address, and sequence number. Packets will travel across the network taking the shortest path as possible. All the packets are reassembled at the receiving end in the correct order because each and every packet is given a sequence number. If any packet is missing or corrupted, then the message will be sent to resend the message or the packet. If the correct order of the packet is reached, then the acknowledgement message will be sent. This is the diagrammatic representation of packet switching. So here sender is A and receiver is B. So here our message is this one, and this message is divided into 4 packets 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have given the sequence number as 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the packet number 1 and 4 will travel from S1 and S2, while the packet number 2 and 3 are traveling from S1 and S3. Each packet can travel independently, deciding the shortest path. Now you can see that for 1 and 4, the packet 4 will take the route from S3, while the packet 1 will take the route to S4. The packet the packet 2 and 3 will reach to S3. Now from S3, the packet will take the route to S4, while the packet 4 take the route to S5. Likewise, every packet will travel independently to reach to the destination. Now at the receiving end, it will going to collect all the packets and the order is 1, 3, 4, 2. Now at the destination, it will resemble the packet and arrange in proper order. If all the packets are successfully arrived, then the B will going to send the acknowledgement to the sender. Let's see what are the advantages of packet switching. It is cost effective. In packet switching technique, switching devices do not require massive secondary storage to store the packets, so the cost is minimized to some extent. Second advantage is it is reliable. Means if any node is busy, then the packet can be rerouted. This ensures that the packet switching technique provides reliable communication. And third advantage is efficient. Packet switching is an efficient technique. It does not require any established path prior to the transmission, and many users can use the same communication channels simultaneously. Hence, make use of available bandwidth very efficiently. Lastly, the disadvantages of packet switching. Packet switching technique cannot be implemented in those applications that require low delay and high quality services. The protocol used in packet switching technique are very complex and requires high implementation cost. And last disadvantage is, if the network is overloaded or corrupted, then it requires retransmission of lost packets. It can also lead to the loss of critical information if errors are not recovered. Thank you for watching.